Most definitely, Steve. And it looks like that Banshee actually did its work. It found one of Stationary's expansions over there on the left center of the map and forced it to lift off and move away.
And I'm seeing that move right now. It looks like it's probably heading towards the gold. I'm not sure how much I like that. It can be kind of hard to keep both your main and that gold defended, especially if you're not going to be playing aggressively, as Stationary seems content to sit back and hold up right now. He does have a slight edge right now in upgrades, with one infantry armor coming and the first upgrade to his weapons as well, which will give him a slight edge with this push that Rend looks like he's moving out with right now.
And even more of this hyper-aggressive play from Rend. He has just absolutely not let up since that first push by Stationary.
And we've got that SCV transfer going right now. He's got a couple turrets coming down at the moment there, a ton of mules being dropped at that gold. That's going to give him a huge boost in minerals, although he's already letting them climb a little bit high. He really needs to be more focused on his macro, even in the middle of the battle.
And the Rend has been ahead in income for some time now, but Stationary has just shot up to over double Rend's income. Oh, it looks like we have an engagement on this choke point right here.
Looks like Stationary is going to have to pull back and have quite enough to take all those out. Although Rend does throw away some extra health there at the end with that stim, but that was clearly a victory for Rend. Stationary is going to have to pull back again.
Really, in that situation, it was all about the concave. It looks like Stationary was coming up the ramp, but he just got trapped on all sides by Rend's forces, and there was just more damage coming in from the outside than from the end.
And with the way those high ground advantages work now in StarCraft 2, keeping that up and keeping your opponent down in the bottom can be such a huge help. Luckily Rend has these two Vikings to provide him vision up ramps, but that can be a really killer spot to get stuck.
This is a very reckless move by Rend, trying to engage that army. It is definitely superior in forces, since those Vikings can absolutely not land. They are far too important to keep up in the event that Stationary moves in with more air forces.
Stationary's got those level 2 upgrades coming for both armor and weapons. Rend is unfortunately just starting his first. Those upgrades play such a huge part in these late game clashes, where the armies are already about as big as they're going to get. You need every little bit you can help, every little bit you can get.
That's right, and Rend has really been letting his macro slip with those upgrades. That is probably going to make a huge difference in one of these later clashes, especially if Stationary is allowed to get his level 2 on both before the next engagement. We are going to see a serious influence made there.
It looks like Stationary might have slipped a bit in his base. He's got these two barracks up. Neither of them have add-ons, and neither of them seem to be producing. They're not even part of his control group for his barrack, or one of them is not part of the control group. He should probably be bouncing back and checking that out to make sure he's getting everything he could. He's also got a fusion core up, so we could see battle cruisers coming out soon as well.
Interesting. Battle cruisers in a TVT, always a huge gamble. If they have enough Vikings, it is just an absolute waste of resources, but if they don't, they can be absolutely devastating.
It looks like we've got another clash coming down right at the front of Rend. Stationary really needs to scoot all those units up another inch, just so all those units in the back that are just running around can start firing.
And it looks like half of Rend's force is in medevacs. This is bad news.
He pulls away and he manages to take that higher ground, but it looks like he's going to lose this natural expansion, and the command center does go down, but all his SCVs are getting away, mostly unharmed.
This is really bad news for Rend here. I don't even know if he's going to be able to recover from this. He has a small force in his choke with more medevacs, but and it looks like the SCVs are running out to die.
It looks like he still probably had them set to the minerals. I really don't know how their Stationary shouldn't be engaging on this ramp, especially not with that side up to the front. He's going to have to pull back again, and he really just sort of threw away a great advantage having Rend contained like that.
Absolutely, yeah, most definitely. And it looks like none of his units actually even had health before they went up, and then they stimmed to even less. They melted like butter there. You really need to watch the health of your infantry when you're Terran, because that can be so huge. Stim is a great advantage, but it is so often overused.
And you know it's also just this I think this theory that players have that if they win a battle they should keep pushing forward because you're winning, when in fact you could just hold back for a little bit, let yourself build up an army again. You don't have to kill him right away, because the downside now is that Rend is able to walk right into this gold expansion, and stationary really doesn't have the units to defend it with.
And even if he did, it would be a very long walk over there.
Yeah, it looks like
as we can see.
He's just getting there now after that command center went down and a lot of those SCVs down. Well, it looks like he's attacking with those SCVs as well, maybe trying to get them to soak up some hits. I don't like this play. It looks like it might have been a misclick as well.
And a little micro by Rend takes out a few of those SCVs that are in the front, but that force was handily able to scare Rend away, which was one of the, honestly, the only examples of discretion by Rend in this whole match so far.
And you know, unfortunately, because Rend never took out those destructible rocks right by his base, stationary is able to walk up to this third expansion on the high ground and just clean it up no problem. Rend's just now getting those rocks down to half health, well after this conflict was over.
Yeah, and at this point the damage is done. That income is lost. Rend is now down to 0 income, down to a staggering 120 for stationary.
And stationary's got those 3-3 upgrades going now. Rend's still sitting at 1-1. Unfortunately, I mean, at the moment, though, Rend actually has quite never mind, they're fighting. Rend's losing those units now.
He did have a good lead in forces, but that has disappeared through and through.
And stationary manages to pick up those marauders in the medevacs. Those other two marauders from Rend's can't even shoot them down. So that was a really good pickup and a great way to stay in. Although it looks like stationary is flying this orbital command right into a Viking. Rend's going to know exactly what's going on the whole time, and he's also going to get rid of this medevac. Well, this medevac with these 4 Hellions that have been sitting up there for a while.
Looks like he turns away. You know, I always wondered, Steve, why can't Marauders shoot their rockets into the air? Honestly, it looks like they should be able to hit them.
If their armor is just too big, they can't actually look up.
That's true, yeah. I bet they can't see it. It's like a giant muscle man.
We had another drop going on at the natural of Rend that's going to keep his income back at 0. Though he's got a tank moving in, that's going to be able to clean up those Hellions, and stationary is going to have to take those away or risk losing all of them.
And they're now target firing the tank.
Alright, he is going to get some of those mules and SCVs close to dead. So at least it's not a total waste, but he really should have picked that up and ran back.
And this is one of those examples where sometimes you need to really just walk away.
Yeah, you know, it's getting over eager. You know, you see this little advantage and you just think that you can make it a huge exploit, and it just ends up backfiring so much. Especially because if Rend's only on 1 base and stationary is running 2, then he doesn't really need that huge advantage because he's already got it. He's also got 2 battle cruisers up and another decent force sitting.
Oh, and it does not look like Rend has even scouted that. He does not know those battle cruisers are coming.
And you know, this late with so few Vikings out for Rend, this could be a huge hit. He's only got 2 Vikings out, and those are not going to be able to do enough damage to those battle cruisers before they can just walk in there and take out that natural and part of the main of Rend.
Now, this might be the game here, especially because it doesn't look like Rend is going to have enough resources to really macro up enough of an army to take out those battle cruisers, even alone.
Yes, I mean, his income is just now peaking back above stationaries, but I think at this point it might be too little, too late. You know, especially now with this planetary fortress down at the gold, Rend's not even going to be able to push in there and stop any of the mining going on down there.
That was definitely a good choice, especially, I don't like the planetary fortress generally in a TVT matchup because you can just siege it from far away, but in this game when it's quite apparent that Rend doesn't have the siege tanks, he doesn't have the sort of weaponry he needs to take out that planetary fortress, that it is essentially a perfectly safe environment.
And, you know, stationary just took out another one of those Vikings from Rend. These battle cruisers are going to be so huge right now. I don't know that Rend can hold on at this point. There's the GG, and game 1's going to go to stationary.
All right. Excellent. It looks like Stationary is leading Rend 1-0 in this best of 3 matchup. We will join you again for game 2.